see everybody. We have Miss Katharyn Davis here today to give us some updates on what's going on in St. Louis. So good to see everybody. Welcome. Let's see. Okay, well, Kathy, I guess you could go ahead and start us off if you'd like to do that.
Sure. Hi, everybody. I hope you're all having a great summer so far. I think we've been sort of blessed so far with our weather not being too bad. Although my husband and I this morning felt like it looked kind of hazy here, and we're wondering if we're getting some of that Canadian smoke. Or it could be just the newly legalized smoke that we have in Missouri now. That seems to blow around our city neighborhood quite a bit. I wanted to bring you up to date on the tenant right to counsel bill in the city of St. Louis. We talked about this a while ago. It was proposed by the Board of Aldermen earlier this year, and it didn't get passed in that session. And then they had the elections and the number of aldermen was reduced and, that kind of thing. And now they have a new session and they have introduced it again with some minor changes. We don't know if it will get passed. It possibly will. It seems to be something that they all like to brag about down there. Oh yeah, we're all for tenants' rights and everything. But as I said the last time it was introduced, they want to spend $5 million over the next couple of years providing lawyers for tenants who are being evicted. And we personally in our firm are not afraid of having lawyers on the other side. Most of the lawyers that represent tenants for a living, the low-income housing lawyers, the legal aid people, Arch City, New Covenant, that kind of thing. We deal with them all the time. We get along with most of them. And we work out something with them. If sometimes the Bar Association refers people at big firms, that will come in and try to represent someone, and those people generally don't know what they're doing, so they're not much of a threat. But the bottom line is Missouri law, and the judges will generally enforce Missouri law, is that if you don't pay your rent, you're going to get evicted. So it doesn't matter if they throw $5 million worth of lawyers at us. If the person's not paying their rent, they're going to get evicted. And then in the smaller number of evictions that are unlawful detainer, where maybe if we're terminating for cause, and we have to prove some kind of behavior, we generally win those, but we might not win all of them. But we're careful about vetting those and that kind of thing, and having our witnesses lined up and being able to prove the behavior that they're doing. So having lawyers is not going to help them that much on that either. And in fact, oftentimes the tenants are kind of crazy, and we would just as soon have a lawyer on the other side that we can deal with as grown-ups rather than some tenant, screaming at us. Personally, again, I kind of feel like if they want to throw $5 million at tenants, other than giving some rental assistance, which we've all been through for the last couple of years, but giving new rental assistance to people, the number one thing I think that could help some people in this situation is mental health services. I personally think they should have someone, a mental health professional, come to the docket every day in the city and sit there that we can refer people to who are obviously not mentally competent, crazy, impaired. There's people show up for court at 9 in the morning, 9:30 in the morning. They're clearly drunk or high, or, just not competent really to manage their affairs. Some of those people end up living in my bus stop after they get evicted. We hate to see that. And if the city wants to spend some of the multi-million dollars of COVID money on that, I think it would be a better service to these people to help them in that way with rental assistance or mental health services, referral to, places that will really take care of their needs. As attorneys, we are not equipped to do that. I have a law degree, not a psychiatry degree, and the judges probably even less so than us. So that's what we think we ought to do. I don't think it will impact us a huge amount. If you do your rent possessions in the city pro se, you might want to engage a lawyer if a lawyer comes on the other side. There's a requirement in this bill that lawyers who are terminating a tenancy serve, in addition to the notice of termination, serve a sheet that they're going to be preparing that goes to the tenant that advises them of the availability of this resource and how they get a free attorney and that kind of thing. And my experience with that is too, that there's a lot of services that are offered to tenants, and most of them don't reach out and try to do that. of course, during the whole COVID safer era, we'd have people coming to court and they'd say, well, I applied for safer. Okay, good. When did you apply? Yesterday. Dude, you owe $5,000. Why didn't you apply until the day before court? Or they don't apply at all. I mean, if you've been to the city of St. Louis, Division 27 or Division 28 recently, they have all kinds of things on the pews in the courthouse that you can take a QR code with your phone and get information about all the agencies that represent tenants, pro bono, and that kind of thing. And 99% of them don't do it. So I think giving them another notice is just going to be something else that they'll ignore. But if it impacts any landlords the most, it'll be those of you who do your own rent and possessions and might have more of a chance of finding an attorney on the other side. Okay, so, and then if anybody has any questions about that or anything else. John, I think you're muted.
When will they be voting on this, Katharyn?
I'm not sure. And that's something I'm going to ask Charlie at that meeting on Tuesday.
Okay.
You know, Charlie Hinderleiter, because he'll be there. I actually don't really understand the process of the Board of Aldermen because I've always tried to not deal with that, you know, just, you know, close my eyes and cover my ears and hope they'll go away. But I think they have to do certain things to perfect those bills. And Charlie knows more about that than I do. So we can ask him that on Tuesday. But I think it takes a couple of times of a reading and that kind of thing. And then the mayor has to approve it. And I don't know what she will do, whatever her dad tells her to do, I guess. But that's it could happen soon. I think the bill as proposed talks about implementation next year, and there's going to be a coordinator. I mean, they're going to spend a bunch of money on this. And so we'll have time to warn you if you're going to have to start serving these notices on people.
Wow, that's a lot to digest, and I appreciate you sending that over to us. I will go ahead and get that sent over, and so we can get it on the website. So if anybody wants to take a look at that, at the details, $5 million is a lot of money, and I totally agree with you on the mental health part of it, because I think that's where we really have the need. We really have the need.
Yeah, it just seems like there's a lot of better ways for the city to spend its money. They're also talking about a more general tenants bill of rights, giving tenants a lot of other rights. I think that will be inconsistent with Missouri law, so we probably won't have to worry about it too much, but I haven't seen it yet. And of course, I will advise you guys when and if I do. And there's also supposedly some talk about a homeless bill of rights. And another attorney that I know seems to think that if they pass that one, homeless people will be able to pitch up their tents anywhere and what have you. And I don't think they're going to be able to do that on private property because that would be an unconstitutional taking. And I would win that lawsuit really fast, but we'll see what and when they do that. They really need to clean up that park. It's across from City Hall and across from the Civil Courts building. That's basically an open air drug market. And people are shooting, people shot at the courthouse, you know, and it's right there in front of City Hall. It's a bad way for people to see our city. But I think if they're going to worry about homeless people's rights, they should start by going into that park and giving those folks services and alternatives and trying to house them and, you know, that kind of thing. It's a hard problem. A lot of people in that situation don't want to be helped and they don't want to go into an official shelter, you know, do things like that. Okay, anybody got any questions?
Appreciate you coming on. Anybody got any questions?
Are we allowed to ask questions about other legal real estate matters, or does it always have to do with tenant landlord issues?
You can certainly ask me anything you want. If I don't know the answer, I'll make it up. No, if I don't know the answer, I'll tell you, and I'll try to think of someone that you could reach out to that would help you. Like, for
Okay,
example,
great.
I don't know if you guys have, if anybody buys at tax sales, but I don't do that kind of perfecting title. And I recommend that people call DL Sweet, who's a lawyer who's great at helping people with tax sales. So that's the deal with that. Yeah.
Tax. Oh.
Yeah.
Tax sales in the city or in the county?
Both. And they have two different procedures. So it's lucky that Dale is very smart and knows how to do it both ways. Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't know you had to have a lawyer to buy property at a tax sale. I thought you,
Well, you don't necessarily have to have one to go to the tax sale and bid, but there's a redemption and perfection of title process in both places, and it's different in the city and the county.
Another thing I wanted to.
And I think it's good to have a lawyer help you go through that.
and what's his, DL Sweet?
Dale, D-A-L-E,
Dale Sweet.
S-W-E-E-T.
Huh, I wouldn't have thought of that. That's interesting. Thank you. My question was about, I've been looking into tax, of course, like legal ways to avoid paying, income taxes. And I was interested in, the, buying property within an IRA, a self-directed IRA, buying real estate within that can, and I didn't know if legally, I'm sure there's a lot of implications to that as far as what you can and can't do with the property. You know, like if it has to be, well, I guess you'd be borrowing, I don't know, have you ever heard of such a thing or?
Yes, I sometimes we get given evictions to do or foreclosures to do where the investment entity is the person's IRA. And I don't know a lot about it. People who have known me for a while will know that I will say tax was my worst class in law school. And, and I kind of avoid it now. So I'm just trying to like click through my mental Rolodex to see if I can think of a lawyer who does that. And I'm not sure, but I know there are investors who do that. We often see them coming with there's a couple of companies whose names I've seen who will administer this for them. And maybe somebody else who's on this call or in this group has done that and would be able to know it. I want to say it's something like, the one company name is something like Equity something.
Yeah, they have
I
a,
was about to say, yeah, we have had representatives from Equity Trust
Yes,
come and present to our group. For a while, we had them like once a year. I haven't had them. Well, they came. We did one webinar during the pandemic that they presented all the aspects, the whole aspects of what it takes to invest in real estate in your IRA, self-directed IRAs, and that's one thing they kind of specialize in.
so
right.
perfect.
It's recorded on the in the member section. If
Yeah.
you go and look for that, you'll be able to see all our replays are on there. So you'll just have to scroll back and look.
Yeah.
We did
No,
one
search-
last year, I think maybe a year and a half ago, something like that.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
very
Sometimes
knowledgeable, and you'll be able to find everything you need there, Mary.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you.
Just search on Equity Trust in our presentations on the recorded meetings and presentations.
yeah. I guess I'm not very savvy with the website. I haven't really explored the resources on there
Oh, there's
very
tons of
well.
resources. I just loaded a new one on this morning, and John's going to load the one on the Tenants Bill of Rights here when we're finished. So Kathy just gave us. So
Okay.
Yeah, so Mary, this is a great group and they will usually have the answer to something like that, even if I don't. So yeah, I would like to have a great big red circle with a slash through it saying no tax for Kathy, no tax advice.
Yeah,
I'd like to
because
do it,
they
yeah.
were like, I was on this webinar, they were talking about, it's like you pay sales tax and you pay property tax. So it's like, why, you know, it's like, we don't need to pay income tax too. That's like, you know, too many different types. Anyway, all right, thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, hello, everyone. How you doing today? This is Bill.
Hi,
Hi, yeah. Hello, and Katharyn, I just wanted to say that Dale Sweet, I've actually used him a couple of times on some tax sales. He does a great job. I done my first one myself, which I mean just to learn the process, and it was quite an arduous process. But what Dale charges to take care of that for you, I would say just go ahead and do that if it's Dale or anyone else. But Dale's great, and you know, and I would recommend him highly. Yeah.
thank you. I really appreciate the word from you as someone who's used them, but I send a lot of people to them and they're always happy. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good show.
Yeah, he's a good resource. We've had him present at our meetings in the past too, so he's a good resource on tax sales. Anybody else got anything for Kathy?
Okay, everybody, have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you,
you for coming on,
Kathy.
Kathy. Appreciate
Thank
it,
you.
as always.
Thanks, Kathy.
Okay, let's see, somebody just put something in the chat here. Yeah, somebody just put, yeah, Melody just put that David Randolph, who's usually on this call quite often, he does a lot of the his real estate transactions in a self-directed IRA.
Yeah, Jan Duke also does.
Yeah, well, I was going to mention
On,
Jan Duke, and then yeah, Melody mentioned David Randolph.
Yeah, we had her on with her crew. She's got on a women's panel. I think it's been about almost 2 years now.
2
but
years
this
ago,
one
yeah, I
You
remember.
might want to go watch also, because she talks a lot about equity trust and her process. Her daughter actually even spoke nationally for them when they had a conference. So that's there's some really good information. If you get in the member section, that's something you might want to do, Mary, is spend a little bit of time on our members, on our resource section there, because we have a lot of good recordings on exactly what you're looking for. So
Cool. Thank you so much.
And I could tell you that is June of 2021 is when she
Wow.
did the presentation. So I don't
Wow.
ask why I
How do
remember that.
are you looking at the members list
No, I'm
now?
not.
How
Not.
do
I
you know
just
that?
I missed that that meeting, I recall.
Oh my gosh, that's some good
Because I
memory,
was in the
Lloyd.
hospital. So it's a bad memory for me, but no, it was a
Oh,
great
yeah.
presentation because I listened to it afterwards.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that.
Anyway. Okay, well, before we get going, open it up for general networking. Just wanted to say, hope everybody has cleared their schedule for coming to our main event this coming Tuesday, the 20th of June at 6:30 at the Shriner Center. We've got Pat Heiser is going to be presenting on a very timely topic, which is appealing your real estate and the new real estate assessments, which are out. And I've been working on 2 of mine that I'm going to appeal, but I'm not going to turn it in to schedule my appointment until after next Tuesday, because I think Pat's going to have some new insights. Possibly, she's probably doing some things that I haven't considered to include in my package that I sent in to him. So I'm really looking forward to that. And she's going to have a great. She has put together a great handout that goes along with her presentation, given a step-by-step what you need to do to prepare for a appeals process. In fact, she sent it to me, and I just got back from Office Depot today. I printed off 30 copies of it for our meeting on Tuesday. So you get a handout to take home with you and take notes on during her presentation. So really looking forward. This should be a really good information loaded session on Tuesday. Come and bring pencil and pen and take notes, because if you own property, whether it's St. Louis County, St. Louis City, St. Charles, it's a very similar process. The website may look a little different than what she's going to be. Their properties, I think, are mostly in St. Louis County, but she's been very very successful with the process that she put together and for filing for an appeal. So looking forward to seeing everybody there on Tuesday. Anyway, what is anybody else got going for you here? I see a lot of items coming in the chat.
Hey, Lloyd, I have a request.
Sure, Gamer, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm looking for, I want to remodel my basement. I want to turn it into a apartment. But I would like to interview several different contractors. But before I can do that, I want to sit down with someone to map out what I would like in the apartment. I'm looking for a recommendation for that type of person. So I can say, hey, contractor, this is the blueprint. This is what I'm looking for. You know, so I can go to different contractors to kind of get an estimate on the cost.
Do you have an idea what kind of spaces you want down there right now?
No, that's what I'm looking for. So
Okay.
obviously I have the space, but I would like to work with someone to draft me up a blueprint, I guess.
Okay. We got a lot of engineering aspects here. In here, I know David Randolph usually finishes the basement. That's one of the things he says. All of his rehabs have a finished basement, so he might have somebody that he could recommend that does his. I don't see him on here yet this morning. But he might be a good resource to check with. Okay, I see Tim is looking for a lawn care service this morning.
Yeah, Tim, is yours now, if I remember right, yours are up in North County. Is that correct, Tim? I don't know. I think you had problems with connection this morning.
Yeah, it looks like it.
But I've got a guy that actually, I just got a text from him this morning. He was doing a thing for me up there too. It was kind of interesting because his ad that when I found him was mow, blow, trim. And I called the guy and he got right out there even before I just talked to him on the phone. He went right out and cut the grass before I even made arrangements to pay him. And this is the second time I've used him was this morning. He just went out there and he's done pretty well. And I can give you that information if you'd like. His name is Dennis and his phone number is 314-708-9927. And I'll put his number in the chat for you too, in case you can't unmute yourself. So that's, you know, I can just say from my personal experience, I've used him twice now. He just sent me pictures as we speak, actually, and just sent them to me. So he actually gets out there and does the work. He's a hard worker. When I talked to him yesterday, it was about 2 o'clock and he goes, I can't get out there today because I got 5 more lawns to do. So this guy is really a worker. He may not be the cheapest and he may not be the best, but he's very good at what he does. At least he has for me so far. So that's all I can say about him. And I'll put his name and number in there for you.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I want to say I used to use lawnmowingonline.com. I don't know if anybody else is still using them. When I had a vacancy and needed to have the lawn cut till I got a new tenant in. But I haven't had real good response from them. The last couple of times I've used them, I had somebody accept the job and then 2 weeks later he still hadn't shown up. So anyway, so I wouldn't recommend them anymore. Okay. See, Elaine's looking for information on the event. If you go to STLREIA.com, we've got information about this event that we have every Friday. And we also have our third Tuesday information about the location of the Shriner Center and everything, and the speaker coming up, and also our second Tuesday breakfast, networking breakfast. So got a lot of information on there at STLREIA.com. Okay, John put it on there. Okay, I see that. Okay, John's way ahead of me. Let's see, John Collins, selling a property in Jennings. You on, John? Want to tell us a little more about it? I see he still got himself muted. He may not be. A lot of people sneak on here while people still have a job, sneak on here during the lunch hour. Can't really talk, so appreciate that. Anyway, see John's information here. He's got something in Jennings at 2051 Switzer, 63136 to 31, 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, and needs some cosmetic work. And his number you can text him, he says, at 314-324-7621. And see, Mary's still looking for a tax planner or a tax strategist for everyday people, not corporations. I don't know. I can't recommend my accountant because he doesn't take any new. I've done that before, and people say he doesn't return my call. So he's pretty busy guy. It isn't. I think he's like John's accountant. He's like, don't recommend me because I'm not taking any new clients. He's busier than they want to be right now. But if anybody knows, anybody does tax planning.
John Collins, you can't talk right now. Do you have a price you would like to tell us, or can you put in the chat for your house on Switzer there? That'd be helpful for some people.
Hey guys, this is Elaine. I had texted him when I saw that because I'm interested, and he texted me back and he said he's on the call, but he can't get in.
Okay, well, maybe he can leave. He's able to leave something in the chat. If he can leave a price in the chat, that would be a little more helpful to see what price range with just cosmetic and maybe.
Okay, I'll tell him too since I got him on
Yeah.
text.
There are a lot of us that just do cosmetics. We don't get into gut rehab, so that could be very appealing to a lot of folks.
Yeah, he did put the price in there.
Oh, we did. Okay, and we scroll down. There it is. Okay, 49.5.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's if before I'm done. Okay, so he's working on it. If you can buy it now, it's 49.5 before he continues to do any more work on improvements. Okay, there you go. So I can buy a 3-1 in Jennings for 49.5. Just need cosmetic. Okay, and Elaine's looking for anything in St. Charles or the surrounding St. Charles counties. There.
Yeah, Elaine, would you like to put your contact information in the chat? Also, maybe tell us
Sure.
and say what you're looking for, if you know, with a little scope of what you're looking for there.
Okay, I
That'd
can
be
do that. Hang on. Let me take y'all.
Yeah, it's not like Elaine's having some technical difficulties. Oh, okay, there she got. Okay, she just put her information in
There
the
you
chat.
go.
Okay,
Sorry, that took me a minute.
yeah, no, that's good. Go ahead. You want to tell us a little more about more specifically what you're looking for? Looking for houses to flip? Any particular area of the?
Well, I'm really interested in kind of the Wentzville, O'Fallon, and St. Charles City proper area, Frenchtown, all of that. So I'm new to the business. I just started our company this year. Have had one flip opportunity looking, but so really green, guys, really working with a coach and ready to start finding some properties and moving them. So North County on kind of the Jennings up area is an area I'm focusing on, and then the St. Charles County area right now. But I'm pretty much got a wide net so I can get a feel for what's out there. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah. If you don't get a few specific areas, but yeah, it's best to start. If you're getting started, don't try throwing too wide a net, you know, get a familiar, we call it a farming area, that get to know property values, and so you'll recognize a bargain when you see one. So, okay, and when you do get some properties, this is a good place to bring them to too. We have investors here that are got a lot of rentals and are long-term buy and hold folks. Buy and do a fix up and turn into a good rental. So,
Yep, that's what I'm hoping to do.
okay. Looking forward to seeing you on our call regularly then. Okay. Melody's got something. You want to tell us a little more about what you got, Melody? Okay, she had a couple last time.
Yeah, I just added my 2. I think I had 3 last time. Now I have 2 left.
Ooh, good.
So we're getting there.
You're getting
we've got our property in the city, 63115 for 35K. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,100 square foot. I didn't put it in there, but it also has like a storage shed, maybe 1-car garage in the back that can be used for additional storage. Long-term tenants, they want to stay, but they're currently month to month. It's going to make it easier for any buyer. They're paying $710. They're also paid ahead right now. They've paid a little extra the past few months and they just leave it on there. Landlord pays sewer, and it's priced at approximately 4 years rent to reflect the cosmetic condition because they've been there a really long time, really long time. And I've listed our realtor's contact information if you're interested. Joe Geary, 314-403-3283. And then we have our property in Jennings, 63136, 35K, 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 672 square foot with a sunroom. And there's a full basement that's not included in the square footage. It's currently vacant. Tenant moved out of state, and the home is in same or better condition than when the occupancy permit was issued in November. So I think maybe other than a little bit of paint on the walls, it's move-in ready. And also you can contact Joe Geary if you're interested.
okay. Very good. Thank you. Okay, you're looking for a couple of rental houses in the city and in Jennings? Melody can take care of you. Okay, anybody else have anything? Anybody looking for anything? So anyway, we got Dave Soto is on here today too. He's one of our sponsoring vendors. You have any good words of wisdom for us, David?
I know right now, I just trying to catch up. I spent the first part of this week in DC with the NFIB talking about issues of small business. So that was pretty interesting. But DC is an interesting place. A lot of walking, a lot of steps.
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't want to have a car there, at least I didn't. We stopped. Last time I was there, we stayed at the hotel that was on the very end of where the metro train, whatever they call their metro system, was, and had a stop there. We just walked from the hotel about a block. I think the hotel even had a shuttle. They shuttled us down there, got on the train, and went in town. But there's still a lot of walking once you get there.
And things are a lot further than you think they are. So it looks like it's just right there. But
oh yeah, no, there's big that mall where millions of people can gather is pretty good size.
Yep.
What does NFIB stand for?
National Federation of Independent Businesses. They advocate for small businesses. The two issues that we were talking about were there's a tax break for pass-through companies, LLCs, S corps. They already have a tax break for big corporations, and then they passed one for small businesses, and that's about due to expire at the end of next year. The other one was advocating for swipe fees from credit cards. Right now, the way things are set up, the big boys are the ones that tell the banks what to charge the companies that use credit cards, and there's no competition. So it's like there's fees are set, and that's just the way it is. So those are the two big issues that we talked about. And of course, once we're in there, we start with our reps. We start talking about things like affordable health care for small businesses, like, and health insurance, and tariffs, and of course workforce and the issues we have with that. So
Very interesting. I'll have to look into that.
Workforce. Everybody's got a hiring sign out. It's pretty tough to add to your workforce these days, I'm sure, for small businesses.
It's real tough, and there's no way to compete with the big boys that have the resources to offer all sorts of higher pay and all sorts of benefits.
Yeah, fringe benefits too. Yeah. Pretty tough for the small guys to compete with those kind of packages. It's good. Okay, anybody else have anything for us today?
Yeah, I'll jump on real quick. Hey, everybody. Scott Winkleman here. I'm looking to help rehabbers, flippers, and investors, landlords with any exterior needs. So my company does roofing, siding, and gutters and gutter guards. So if anybody's in the middle of a project or buying a house that needs a new roof, keep me in mind. Also looking to grow my portfolio. I'll put this in the chat, but looking to partner with investors, landlords who are maybe ready to be the bank and let go of the management side of things, and partner with somebody who'd be interested in doing that, and selling on seller financing, and we can work out anything that makes sense to anybody. Also looking for a 2-bed, I'd prefer 3-bed in Hazelwood or Florissant, really anywhere in that area right now. And if anybody has anything like that, shoot it over my way. My number is 314-807-8004. My email is upwardprops@gmail.com. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, and mentioning roofing and siding, we do have Matt Reed also is going to be doing a short presentation at our next Tuesday's meeting. So he's another contractor that does roofing and siding. So if you got some questions about that, can you bring those to next Tuesday's meeting too, along with getting informed about how to prepare a successful tax assessment appeal. Okay. Anybody else got anything for us today?
Scott, what geography do you cover?
In terms of contracting work?
Yeah.
Well, what are you thinking? Where's your project?
Well, I don't have one right now, but I'm looking at, I mean, do you go out, come south at all as far as Cape or Perryville or?
I don't know. I haven't done anything that far,
Okay.
but probably Cape is maybe a little too far. Perryville is maybe a little better, but I guess if it makes sense, it makes sense, but yeah, feel free to reach out anytime and I'll take a look at it.
I just wanted to mention that I am looking for new work. Since my father passed away, I was his main administrative affairs assistant type person. And so that ended last month. And so that was one of my main gigs. And I have one other client right now, but I'm looking to do something real estate related. I'm kind of open. I just want to do something where I can learn where what I'm doing will help me actually in the things that I want to do, so that I can kind of learn as I go or help somebody doing similar things like in the rehab world. Or I thought about working for like a general contractor, like as their like like the phone person who can like go to job sites and meet with clients or something like that, or working with an interior designer who works on rehabs, because I really like the creative side of things. And I actually have done contracting work before. So it's like I've done like what I call artistic contracting, like whitewashing things, like whitewashing 100 cedar boards to be installed in a foyer hallway, or, redoing like an artistic finish on a piece of furniture that would be a feature piece for a certain area, or things like that I've done for hire. And as far as in the rehab sense, nothing like, cutting boards with a chop saw and then nail gunning them into the wall. Like I don't typically do that type of stuff. It's like painting doors, like basic things, but I could get into more hardcore things, but I think my skill sets are probably more on the administrative side, but I have a lot of I'm pretty versatile. So right now I've been working as like a personal assistant for a lot of years, which is kind of like a Jane of all trades type person. I do everything from like decluttering and organizing of people's homes, like cleaning them, helping them, even with like counseling and all kinds of different things. So it's like a huge range of things, but I'm looking to do something more in the real estate world. I thought about hitting up Core Properties and seeing if they needed anybody to do stuff like researching properties or something. I don't know. It could be a lot of different things. So I'm not really sure, but just trying to throw out some feelers because it's I could do a lot of different things.
Okay, yeah. Could have somebody here looking for a little assistance, so you can reach out to Mary. Want to put your give your contact information, Mary? And yeah, Scott, I don't know if you saw Elaine says she's looking for some guttering. Please call her. 636-346-7460.
Thanks. Yeah, Elaine, I'll give you a call out right after the call.
Okay, there you go, Mary. Thank you. And Mary's contact information, email in the chat there.
Thank you.
And thank you. That'll be perfect. I look forward to talking to you. See you, Elaine.
Okay. Anybody else got anything for us? Well, if not, I think we can wrap things up today. Anybody got any last words? John, you want to have any last words?
Just a lot of good shares today, good updates from Katharyn Davis. We'll have that up. I'll send that over to Patrick to get on the website a little bit later. A lot of good things. Amber, I don't think you put your contact information in the chat. If you want to share that, feel free to do so. For the contractors, let's see, what else do we have today? We had John Collins has a investment property. Melody's got a couple. Mary's wanting to be a personal assistant and learn some things there. And some tax sales. Elaine's looking for some stuff in St. Charles. Let's see, Wentzville, O'Fallon. Scott is got some contracting work available, and he's also looking for a 2 or 3 bedroom in Hazelwood, our Florissant area. So everybody left their contact information. If you didn't happen to get that, then maybe watch the replay. I'll have that up by midnight tonight. I always get it sent over there. Sometimes they don't get it up till Monday, depending on the webmaster's schedule on the weekends. But if you want, you can always reach out to me or Lloyd or anybody else. So
Sure.
Thanks for tuning in. I don't really have anything else other than make sure you got your calendars booked and your schedule marked for Tuesday, because that'll be a very good meeting. I know Laura and I changed some of our plans around to make sure we're there too, because Patricia Heiser is one of the most knowledgeable people on getting your taxes reduced in the area that I've seen. So it's be well worth your while to get there and get there early to get a good seat, because we'll have a really good, really good meeting and good networking as always too. So thanks
Yeah.
for coming.
Yeah, really good at networking, starting at 6:30. Okay. Hope to see you all Tuesday. If not, we'll see you back here next Friday. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
There.
Everyone, have a great weekend.
Bye, y'all.
Thanks.